We're impersonating police officers to kill politicians. Order is starting to decay in this country.
Order is decaying. That's the way to say it. We can't help but to look at what Gavin Newsom is doing and how he's responding.
Yeah, I'm libbing out for Gavin Newsom. I don't want to be his fan.
I know.
I really don't.
I know.
But he's making it really hard to not be his fan.
I think that Newsom might be a little bit of a psychopath.
I think he has some sociopathy in him.
But he's our
But he hates two people. Two groups of people.
One?
Poor people.
Hates them.
Hates poor people.
What evidence do you have that he hates them? I think it's time that we go ahead and call Fox News what it is. State media.
It's state propaganda.
State propaganda.
I think probably is even a stronger word.
Maybe better because it's not owned by the state or run by the state. But
it's definitely state propaganda.
It's a propaganda machine.
For sure.
And now with Trump's approval ratings, I'm sure you saw the Quinnipiac.
Yeah, Quinnipiac. No, I did not.
I
just heard that it's not good.
Yeah, a couple days ago, just released. It's the lowest it's been now, down to 38%.
That'd be the lowest of him?
I think the lowest of him this term. I feel like he dipped down there at some point during the first term as well.
He's trying to push some Bush numbers. He's really trying.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I'm thinking about 2026 midterms.
We're going to have that 9% approval rating.
I mean, is he really going to do something to improve his approval ratings between now and then?
No. I think it'll be a thing of...
No chance.
The approval rating plummets, and maybe they lose some seats in the House and whatever, and then he's like...
Well, then he's not going to get anything done.
Well, nothing matters anymore. And then it's just EOs.
Well, he's lame duck, but then...
But now I'm taking everyone's National Guard then.
But at least the House can push back. If the Dems retake the House, at least the House can do something to slow.
They can, but I don't think they will, or they'll be able to do anything meaningful.
But
he's already churning out executive orders before they can even get reviewed. And by the time it's reviewed, he's 9 executive orders ahead. So I think he just will keep ramping that up. And if it really gets bad and he's like, well, I'm not getting reelected, none of it matters anyway, I'm just going to finish this thing.
Yeah, but he will absolutely doom the Republican Party for 2028 then. I
don't think he cares about the Republicans.
Oh, no, I don't think he does either.
He's just a Republican.
But I'm wondering if the Republicans who will succeed him will allow him to continue to destroy the machine, or...
I think he's so insulated with the people in his cabinet at this point. Like Stephen Miller will personally take out people.
I think that
by himself if he has to.
I know, but I think that J.D. Vance is going to be more than happy to step right in when they invoke the 25th Amendment.
They're not impeaching him. There's no chance. I truly don't. If they do, we're already well past the point of when they should have done it.
Yes, I agree with that.
It'll be like, oh, you should have done this a year ago.
It'll be so
That's what I mean. It'll be a point where it's like, cool, we did it. It's way too late.
But if
you know what I mean?
But if Trump's chaos dooms their odds for being able to be elected in 2026, and then even more so if just like you say, if he escalates it even further, right? If he loses the House in 26, so then he's not going to get any laws passed at all at that point.
Not passing laws.
So then it's just going to be executive order after executive order meant to create more chaos to try to scare the populace. But I think the populace is on to it already. Here we are just a half a year into the first term, and look at the turnout of the protests with just some ICE raids. I think it's so this is we're gonna come into a, not you and me, but like we people will come into a conflict of, he's gonna see the pushback and he's looking for a fight. Yes.
Because I think his only goal here is deporting people and spreading misery. It's not good things he's trying to achieve. Right now he's achieving everything he wants, I think. Or definitely what Stephen Miller wants. For sure what he wants. That guy's insane. So I think he just keeps ramping up deportations. He now realizes, I can use pretty aggressive means actually, and I'm pretty fine. I get a lawsuit, I don't care. There'll be too many lawsuits for them to keep up with. And by the time it gets to my table, or I have to go to court or whatever, it's too late. Everyone's already deported. But I think that the problem is going to be that I don't think a lot of the people out there have it in them to really protest the way that they need to, or will be forced to. And in the way the government will confront them. I don't know how many of those people exist.
Okay, interesting.
I don't think in our town there's that many people. That's just us. I'm not saying that for the nation.
Yeah.
Like I think LA's showing there's plenty of people who are pushing back. Like there's places in the country who are just fine. Well, when you have SWAT officers like shooting beanbag rounds at reporters,
Yeah.
and just shooting people standing on the side of the road with beanbag rounds like in the face,
Right.
what are you supposed to do? When the government's attacking you in the street,
It's such a bad look.
do you see what I mean? Like,
It's like the 60s again.
what are you supposed to do if the government attacks you and you're just standing there? 100% legal what you're doing. You're just standing there, 100% legal.
Right.
And you're shot with a beanbag round.
So then you don't
Or they
gather
shoot
anymore.
or they shoot a tear gas canister at you. What are you supposed to do? Give up?
I think that there are too many angry Americans.
That's the number I don't know. It's impossible to know that number.
I mean, even based on what I saw out there today,
I think most people would have left today.
would have left if the police just started to shoot,
Beanbag rounds?
just randomly shoot beanbag rounds into that crowd that wasn't doing anything.
Probably most people would have left, yeah.
Man.
A lot of older people out there.
Yeah. I mean, there would be some.
The younger people would stay. I think a lot of the younger people would stay.
I know, but what a bad
It's
look.
also hard to war game that out in your head. It's a little bit tricky because it's such a crazy scenario.
It is a crazy scenario.
Like you ask the crowd, like, what do you do when the police like attack you unprovoked? What do you do? And then it's like,
if they're
I don't know.
just holding signs, if they're just standing. I'm not even talking about like
Did you see the video of the reporter who got shot with
Sure.
the background? The
Yeah.
Aussie reporter?
Of course, yeah. He turned and
He
pointed
was
right at her.
she was just reporting. Totally normal.
Yep, he turned and pointed
And,
right at her.
and he's here and he goes, boom, and he hits her.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do with that?
Yeah. Well, there was another one. I don't know if you saw, but there was a young girl. It was in the evening time, and she just wanted to get home to her apartment, and she had to walk like by the police line. She was just standing there by herself.
And they
There
shot
was
I don't
nobody.
think I saw that.
Point blank, right in the chest, from like here to the door over there. Just boom, like. She just wanted to get home to her own apartment.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't like let her just like walk through to get
Nope.
home.
I saw a video of where they're not letting protesters leave a street block so they can keep them there till curfew to detain them. Like they were boxing them in.
Oh my gosh.
So then the question is, well, what do you do when the government's doing stuff like that to you?
You protest more.
You respond accordingly,
Yes.
right? I don't know how people have the guts in them. That's hard for me to even say. I have a kid, so like that's trickier for me. And I don't know if I can condemn a person who has like a family to be like, am I supposed to be mad at you right now for like not risking yourself?
Yeah,
in such a way?
risking your
I don't know if
life.
I can really be mad at you for that.
Sure.
But how many people don't have the stomach to do that?
I mean, I think a lot of people don't have the stomach to, but I think
Is
a
it going to
lot of
be
people do.
enough people?
I think it will be. I think the more it escalates, I think just the
I think Trump
angrier
will
that we
use
all get.
force far more than any president in your lifetime has, for sure.
I just think that there's going to be law enforcement that begins to push back as well. There's going to be law enforcement officials that say,
I don't know if I think
I mean, I just don't know. I mean,
they'll just be fired. I don't. It won't
he
be.
can't fire a sheriff.
Sure, if
local sheriff.
if a sheriff stands up, then maybe.
Well, that's what
That'd be the only person who could meaningfully do anything.
Well, I mean, I think that kind of thing
'Cause
is the next. I actually
cops-
I tweeted about this on Blue Sky.
Deputies, military, National Guard, Coast Guard, all of them overwhelmingly vote Republican. So overwhelmingly vote Republican. Mm-hmm. And right now, pretty much if you're a Republican, you love glorious leader Trump. I mean, the Marines were excited to go to LA to squash it. And Republicans were excited for the Marines to go to LA to squash it.
I think that once they got there, the Marines were a lot less excited when they realized they just had to sleep on the floor and they literally had nothing to do.
They got bored probably.
It's
But-
just like, what the hell are we even doing here?
What do
What's
you-
the point?
But if it's two Marines who disagree, what are they going to do? Get themselves thrown in jail for 20 years? Because that's what's going to happen. You get court-martialed and then you get to face a military tribunal and you get to be thrown in prison for a long, long time. They're pretty harsh in the military for disobeying orders.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm sure there'll be people who disagree, but in order to do it in any meaningful capacity, it would have to be like an entire state being like, we're no longer listening to the orders. Like it would have to be such an overwhelming number of law enforcement that I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it'll be an overwhelming number, but when you start to get law enforcement that begins to push back, not just Newsom, not just AOC, not just Padilla, who just wants to go in and question Noam at a presser and gets, drug out and handcuffed, right?
Yeah.
So these things are happening. But I think when law enforcement of one, local, versus federal, I can see that there will be some friction that's going to happen at some point. Maybe not yet.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure there'll be some. I don't think it'll be anything that really manifests that we see all that much.
what happens when law enforcement starts to shoot at law enforcement?
That's a world that I think it's a possible world we could be at.
I think it's possible in some areas.
Super small.
Not nationwide, but I can see.
No.
But it's these trigger events like this assassination of lawmakers. A politically motivated assassination of lawmakers is a really bad look. With a manifesto and a list of Democratic names.
Yeah, tensions
and a
rising
guy dressed as a cop. Are you kidding me?
on top of the pressure of Israel just attacked Iran. With
Right.
Iran saying,
So now there's two wars
with
happening.
Iran saying Israel and America will pay. So now, lucky me, born just in time to fight in another war in the Middle East. So with war looming that we will be dragged into, with,
And you're young enough to be drafted, by the way.
for a long time, I'm young enough to be drafted. For a long time.
What's the age? I thought it was
35.
Oh, 35? I'm just over the cut.
Just barely. Just barely. Just by a 20-year. No. But public, what's that I'm trying to think of? Like public morale or whatever. There's a word I'm trying to think of.
Sentiment?
Sure, whatever. The populace is getting very pissed off.
Yeah.
The population is getting very upset.
Yes.
And we're using force on citizens, like
We're using
Marines
our own military
on our own citizens.
on U.S. soil
On citizens. Not on U.S. soil against non-citizens.
against
Citizens
who
in
are
California.
protesting. Yeah.
So I think all of that does not spell cohesion in order, in clarity and calm.
No.
I could spell disorder, chaos, violence.
It's really strange to me that all this chaos that has happened in
Yeah.
California and all was just moments after Elon's
Breakup.
bombshell tweet about
yeah,
Epstein and Trump.
Yeah.
And Trump all of the sudden,
I don't know if there's correlation there.
or the great big bill is all of a sudden not in the news. The great big beautiful bill is,
I don't trust that the Trump admin is that smart to coordinate these things.
I think Stephen Miller
I
is
think
that
it might
smart.
be a thing of like, holy shit, they're protesting. Take advantage.
Definitely.
I think it's more opportunistic.
Yeah, I agree with
Then,
that.
like-
it's less calculated, but I think
It's definitely opportunistic.
But
I think for sure, if they say, "Oh, if we throw force, they'll focus on that." Go blow the city up. Go do something.
yeah.
But I think this is now turned into, it's not a distraction anymore. This is now its own issue. Deploying Marines in the U.S. against citizens, I think, definitely qualify, and taking the National Guard from a state without the state's knowledge or consent, I think veer very far into now its own issue and no longer a distraction. And I think it only gets worse because I've seen the war drum start to beat against Iran from Republicans and independents and Democrats, if you will. A lot of Substack articles coming out, a lot of opinion pieces coming out that I've seen.
What's the point of that?
War with Iran.
Yeah, what's the point of war with Iran?
They're the enemy.
Is it just nuclear and that's the reason?
They're the enemy.
I mean, they have no meaningful military at all.
We'll never be able to invade Iran. That's never happening. So I want everyone to go ahead and dispel that. If we couldn't pull off Afghanistan, we're not pulling off Iran. Iran is Afghanistan times 100 with real backing from China and Russia. Or they can get real backing.
Yeah.
Iran is a real country that has a real government and a real military and a real air force and a real economy. It's a complete country over there. It's not like some lawless anarchy terrorist state. That's not what it is. It's a real country with real entities and decisions that it makes.
I thought that wars wouldn't start under Trump.
He's the peace president.
So here we are now in a lingering war from Biden.
With Russia and Ukraine continuing to escalate, and
Israel all of a sudden.
Israel's actually, you guys were right. We do want to kill every Palestinian. If you translate the tweets on Twitter, it's like, whoa, that's the most evil thing I've ever seen.
It's not good.
Nope. And then now Israel bombs Iran, and John Fetterman's like, this is the reason I was born, to support Israel's war in Iran. Have you seen his tweet? It's insane.
I don't understand.
And so yeah, so with war looming, like this would be a real war. This wouldn't be like Desert Storm where we just like walk over Iraq. It wouldn't be like that. This would be a much harder operation.
It would be, in my opinion, unbelievably disgusting waste of American lives for us to would be, invade Iran with Israel.
I think people don't understand quite how much attrition we will face in Iran. You have to get to there, like, it's all mountains. Basically, the whole country is mountains.
Yeah.
So that's step one. Step two is then you have to, like, somehow defend anything you've taken, any bases, from, like, a real military, not just dudes in flip-flops.
I mean,
like, dudes in armored tanks with real uniforms.
I mean, they've got missiles.
This is a real country.
Yeah, they'll just launch missiles.
We will lose... So, like the war in Afghanistan in a year. Like how many lives we lost in 20 years, we lose in a year.
We would lose a lot of people.
It would be very bad.
A lot of soldiers.
Very bad. It would be
to what
ugly.
end? What would we gain?
Nothing.
Is it that we really think that Iran is a nuclear power and that they have the ability to?
It's not that, because Obama had the nuclear accords with them that Trump withdrew from twice. With Biden tried to get us back into, and then Trump said, go to hell. No, we're not doing that. So it's not about that, because I think from what I understand about how Obama had it set up, they couldn't do certain things, and we had like watchdogs of like, we saw everything they were doing.
Yeah.
We knew it was happening. So if it got out of hand, we would know about it. But now we don't know what's happening.
Well, we don't know what's happening there.
And you think killing them is going to make them not want to build a nuclear weapon? If you're a country getting invaded by a foreign power, probably you're thinking, if I have a nuclear weapon, I have a deterrence, finally. That's the whole point everyone makes with Russia, right? That they have nuclear weapons, so why are we fighting?
Yeah, they have
So
the most.
Iran's thinking,
same.
well, if we have some, then they'll leave us alone.
Yeah.
And killing them only proves their point further.
That we need to use it.
And we need to get it today.
Yeah, it risks us even further.
All you're doing is proving Iran correct.
You're inflaming.
All you're doing is proving them correct.
This is such a disgusting mess. What an unbelievably ridiculous, disgusting mess that it took Trump 6 months to wreak havoc across all different kinds.
The entire country and the global stage.
Yeah, everywhere.
Europe hates us.
Everywhere. Everybody's paying more in the United States. By the way, gas is about to crank up big time. Now that there's going to be war in the Middle East. Are you kidding? Inflation is going to to be...
Well, I won't have to pay for gas because I'll get drafted. So I'm not going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, you're not going to need gas.
The truck that I'm being hauled to Iran, they'll pay for the gas. I don't have to pay for that gas.